Welcome to the flipped session of the 2014-2015 Pioneer Trail Staff Handbook. There are many important items. I will highlight specific areas of interest, but it is your responsibility to read through the entire handbook. Please turn to page 3 of the handbook. You will notice the faculty meeting dates and the required extra dates. These are August 19th, which is back to school night, October 15th and 16th, parent-teacher conferences, February 11th and 12th, also parent-teacher conferences, and May 11th, honor and award night. On page 5, you will notice that the Pioneer Trail appraisal and evaluation list is posted. Each of the administrators, Elaine, Justin, and Mike, have certain people they will be evaluating this year. Make sure that you know which area you are in and who your evaluator is. If you have any questions with that, please notify your evaluator. On page 6, you will see the Panther Time rooms. The first teacher listed is the teacher of record. The teacher after that is the teacher that is the partner. I would now like you to flip to page 9. On page 9, you will see the supervision schedule. First of all, you will notice on page 9 and 10 are the first semester schedule. This actual first week starts next week, so those of you that are on next week, you get 3 days. And on pages 11 and 12, you will see that is the second semester. Please take note of those. Pages 13 through 17 are the extra duty assignments. Please look through there and see if you'd have extra duty for the fall, winter, and spring events. Page 19 is the activity trips and field trips policy. As you see there, it says all activity trips and field trips need to be approved through the field trip approval attachment 1 form before being announced to students or arrangements being made. Now please turn to page 20. On page 20, you will see 2 items of interest. The unfinished business incomplete assignments policy. As you see there, it says Pioneer Trail's policy is all students need to complete all work assigned. If a student does not submit an assignment on the due date, they must complete an incomplete assignment form. This form is given to the teacher, who gives one copy to the student and one to the administrator. Calls are made to the parents by the administration. Staff will email the parent. Students are required to stay after school, report to study club, or possibly Friday school if the assignment is not complete by the next day. If you look down to student attendance under teacher responsibilities, number 1 says take role utilizing Synergy software. Number 2, wait at least 10 minutes in the hour to export file if students are not present so information accurately reflects either tardy or absent designation. Number 3, export accurate attendance every class period. Very important. If you're not sure about what's going on, please email Katie Williams. Page 21, you will see there that it says child abuse. We are required by law to report suspected and neglect cases to the proper authorities. You see there in the yellow, it does say it is your responsibility to telephone the SRS Kansas Abuse and Neglect line at 1-800-922-5330. Every call is taken seriously and every effort will be made to protect your identity. Please turn to page 22. On page 22, we have the Code of Professional Ethics. A district committee compiled a publication entitled Olathe Schools Code of Professional Ethics. This publication presents a compilation and clarification of board policy to help guide employees in making ethical decisions in the performance of their day-to-day duties. This will be in attachment 2, which we'll talk about at the end of this session. Corporal punishment and physical contact. As you see there, it says it is against district policy to engage in any form of corporal punishment. Physical contact with a student should be avoided. If an issue arises whereby a student is refusing to follow your request, contact an administrator about the situation. Detentions. Teacher detention should be served in the teacher's classroom and should not exceed 1 hour in duration. The next item I'm going to discuss is on page 24 under Email and Technology Guidelines. I will give you a second to get there. Okay, hopefully you have found it. Remember that email and school technologies are property of the school district. Incidental personal use of district computers must not interfere with any staff member's job performance. This is also under Board Policy on Attachment 3, which we will see at a later date. Now let's turn to page 26 under Fundraising. Organizations wishing to participate in fundraising must complete a request form, and approval must be received before progress any further. You may need to discuss things, and organizations are not going to door to door and not selling items during class. The next two items we'll discuss are on page 27. Hallway passes. Each student has been given an agenda with hall passes included. This is to serve as their hall pass when they are out of class. This system only works when teachers are diligent and consistent about signing the planners whenever students are to be excused from the classroom during class hours. If you skip down 2 points on the intercom, teachers are asked to only use all call on the intercom before and after school. Teachers can use the intercom from their classroom phone by dialing 527-04005, then speak into the receiver. Alright, let's turn to the next page. If you look at the next page, leaving the building. Staff may need to leave the building from time to time on a limited basis. When you do need to leave the building, you must first notify an administrator and secretarial staff. Please sign out and back in on the checkout sheet in the office. If you go down 2 points, lunch procedures, in highlighted there, it says teachers are to walk students to lunch and are to pick them up in the cafeteria at the end of the lunch period. Very important to look at. Next item of business is on page 29 under Parent Communication. As you can see there, it says faculty members are required to make parent contact on a weekly basis. Friday is recommended to all students. If you skip down a couple, passing periods, underlined and highlighted, teachers are required to be in the hallways during passing periods. Please turn to the next page. On page 30, at the bottom, professional day, arrival, and leaving. The professional day is from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. This 8-hour day is the contractual day set by board policy. Anytime the terms of the professional day cannot be met, your administrator must be notified. If you need to check out during the day on occasion, please gain administrative approval, sign out in the office, and inform a secretary. Directly underneath that, it does say professional dress and appearance. All staff are expected to dress in a professional manner. It is important to remember that we act as models for our students. The next item we will look at is on page 32 and 33, the bottom of 32, top of 33, sexual harassment policy. School board policy addresses sexual harassment with their commitment to providing and maintaining a safe, healthy environment for all students and employees that promotes respect, dignity, and equality and is free from unlawful sexual harassment. The district strictly prohibits all forms of sexual harassment on school grounds, school buses, and at school-sponsored activities, programs and events, including those that take place outside the district. Reporting procedures are outlined in the board policy, and any person who believes he or she has been a victim of sexual harassment by a student or an employee of the school district should report the alleged acts immediately to an appropriate school district official as designated by board policy. Continuing on page 33, you will see substitute preparation. Every teacher is to have a folder ready for a substitute that contains emergency lesson plans, seating charts, and general class guidelines. On the next page, you will see tardies for students. Each teacher has a responsibility to monitor student tardies. keep accurate records, and to enforce school policies in a fair and equitable manner. The student tardy policy is as follows. Students are considered tardy if they are not in the classroom when the bell to start class has finished ringing. This is also in the student handbook. A student is not considered tardy for arriving without the appropriate materials and supplies. This should be considered a classroom management issue. Please make sure you maintain contact with parents regarding tardies if the issues become chronic. If you turn to page 36, you will see it says attachments. Pages 36 through 55 are the attachments with the forms, policies, and guidelines that you will need to look at and use as we go throughout this school year. You will receive in your email inbox a quiz that you will need to take and turn into the office to show that you have completed this flipped classroom session. Thank you.